What's going on, guys? Krusty Case here from the Gold Boys Network, coming to you with the MLB slate preview for 9/11. Before we hop into this one, I remind everybody you can get all these odds at FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into this one. First game on our slate, the Miami Marlins taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Right now, Marlins yet to announce a starter. Pirates rolling out Bailey Falter. I mean, it's going to be a pretty gross game. You get two lineups who, really aren't playing for anything. In my opinion here, though, I think you go with the Pirates. I just like their lineup better. I'm not sure who the Marlins are going to trot out there. It doesn't make a difference to me. I think Bailey Falter is one of those guys who can just get a lot of weak contact against a lineup that just frankly isn't very good. So for me here, I like the Pirates on the money line. Like I said, it's a gross play. It's probably one of the ones that I honestly likely won't have any actual money on. But if I had to pick a side, if I had to go somewhere, I'm going to the Pirates here. Our next one, the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Chicago White Sox. Matthew Boyd versus Davis Martin. I'm going to opt for the first 5 under here. So, obviously the Guardians like them to win, but it's too juicy for me to play at minus 215. So here, what I'm looking at, Davis Martin's been like sneakily pretty good for this White Sox team. Not great, but definitely decent enough. I think he can navigate this Cleveland lineup, who we've seen, a lot of quick at bats. They don't see a lot of pitches. His changeup should play pretty well in this matchup. It's a pitch they don't handle that well. So first 5 under here, I think it's the move. I think Boyd pitches really well against the White Sox, who, as we all know, one of the worst offenses in the entire league. And plus, these early games like this tend to lead to a lot of those like lower scoring affairs. We see it time and time again. So give me the first 5 under here. I'll trust both these starters to kind of hold it down for us. Our next one, the New York Mets taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Sean Manaea versus Bowden Francis. For me here, I'm going to go with the Jays on the money line, plus money. They're at home. They're a dog. Bats are seemingly starting to figure it out here a bit. Sean Manaea is a guy who we all know the command's not always there. If he's putting guys on base, he's going to find himself in trouble, and I kind of think that's what happens here. Excuse me. The Jays, like I said, starting to figure it out a bit. As I'm recording this, they're getting to David Peterson a bit. 5 runs here after 3 innings. So definitely seem like they're starting to stroke it a bit. I think Sean Manaea is a guy they can have success against. Like I said, waste a lot of pitches, and you get a Jays team who's seeing a lot of pitches. So guys get on base. That's when he gets into trouble. I think he gets into trouble here. Bowden Francis, been one of the best stars for the Jays pretty much since the All-Star break. Really just like him to keep pitching well. And getting them at plus money here feels like a bit of a steal. So I will take my chances on the Jays at plus money on the money line. Our next one, the Texas Rangers taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Cody Bradford versus Merrill Kelly. It's the D-backs for me here. Minus 150 on the money line. It's a little juicy, but in my opinion, still worthy of a straight bet. I thought this would be a little bit higher of a price just because Texas really isn't going anywhere this season, in my opinion. If you watch them, the lineup just continues to kind of stink. No Seager obviously doesn't help their cause here, but really just think Merrill Kelly pitches well against a team that's just not hitting. Cody Bradford, think he struggles in this matchup, like we've talked about a few times. This Diamondbacks team playing for something, really starting to swing it well, and I think they continue that here. Give me the Diamondbacks on the money line at a minus 150. Our next one, the Colorado Rockies taking on the Tigers. Rockies have yet to announce a starter. Tigers rolling out Casey Mize. This is another gross one. I like the over. No total yet. I'm assuming like an 8.5. I'll be all over that. Give me the over 8.5 runs here. Mize, I think he does get touched up a bit against this Rockies team, who, we all know they're not great, but when they get these guys who kind of stay in the zone a lot, they tend to do a little bit of damage. And I think the Tigers, regardless of who they're seeing, get us enough runs to cover this total. So give me the over 8.5 here. Our next one, the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Shane Baz versus Zach Wheeler. I like the Wheeler player performance double here. It's looking like probably 6 Ks in a win, possibly 7 Ks in a win. We'll get you to even money, but I love it. Tampa Bay, as we all know, one of the highest strikeout rates in all of baseball versus righties, particularly on the road. So I really think Wheeler comes in here and just absolutely deals. And I think he just mows through a lineup that's just not good. Phillies facing Shane Baz. Shane Baz is good. Schwarber just got hurt today, so that'll be interesting to see. But I think Baz struggles against this lineup. There's a lot of guys swinging the bats pretty well for this Phillies team right now. This just kind of feels like you're running into a buzzsaw, in my opinion. So give me the Wheeler player performance double here. Hey guys, I just want to give a quick reminder that new users can bet $5 at FanDuel on any of the bets in this video and win $150 in bonus bets if the bet wins. Now let's get back to the bets. Our next one, the Atlanta Braves taking on the Washington Nationals. Max Fried versus Jake Irvin. It's juicy, But, I mean, the Braves on the money line, I don't see how you don't go there. It's just a team that, they're starting to figure it out. It seems like the bats are starting to come to life. And Max Fried starting to look like the Max Fried we know and love. For me here, obviously it's a steep price. I'd pair it with something else. But on the money line, that's where I'm going to go. They are going to need some innings out of him. So maybe his outs as well, just because Ronaldo Lopez got hurt after the first inning in the game that happened today. So Fried outs, I think, are definitely in play as well. But Braves money line for me here. I think they pick up another win. Our next one, the Kansas City Royals taking on the New York Yankees. Cole Reagans versus Luis Gil. I'm going with the Royals on the money line. Yankees team overall this season has struggled against lefties. Cole Reagans, the velo's back. He looks good. Hitting him at plus money here on the road. I mean, I get it. It's Luis Gil. But this Kansas City team is a pesky team. Put a lot of balls in play. And we're seeing it today against Stroman. Although they're not hitting the ball well, they're still making contact. Finding gaps, finding space in the infield, and getting on base. And that base traffic, in my opinion, going to cause some issues. So give me the Royals on the money line here at plus money. I will take a stab. Our next one, the Los Angeles Angels taking on the Minnesota Twins. Jack Chonowitz versus Zebby Matthews. For me here, this is really Zebby Matthews' first opportunity to face a higher K team. He has really good K stuff in the minors. Really hasn't been able to showcase it just yet. So for me, this kind of feels like one of those spots where he's finally going to get the opportunity. So I'm definitely curious to see what his Ks are going to be at. We don't have the line yet. Twins at a minus 190 is an absolutely disgusting price. So give me the Twins team total over. I think they get some runs here. And that's where I feel like the strongest angle is. I can't get to a minus 190 with Zebby Matthews on the mound. I don't care who they're playing against. I can't do it. So Twins team total over. I think that's the best way to look here. If you wanted to take a shot at the Twins on the run line, I guess you could. But like I said, I have a hard time trusting them in terms of a side with Zebby on the mound. He has good stuff, but obviously he's young, can make mistakes. And, it's baseball. Anything can happen. Our next one, the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Boston Red Sox. Dean Kremer versus Nick Pivetta. I was really surprised to see the Orioles at plus money in this game. It kind of felt a little odd to me, but that's where I'm going to go. I don't get this price. Pivetta's decent. Kramer is decent. Boston's at home. Boston's favored over Baltimore. I don't know. This game, when I was going through the slate, the price weirded me out in the sense I want to just kind of skip it. Because normally when I see a price like this, it's you want to go to the side that doesn't make sense, essentially. Why is Boston a minus 125 favorite over Baltimore? And you want to take the Red Sox? But I couldn't get myself there. I think Pivetta struggles against this Orioles lineup. So I'm going to take a stab here on the Orioles at a rare plus money spot. And I'll live with the results here. This is one of those ones that you just got to kind of play. Because, like I said, I don't think they should be plus money, really, especially against Boston. Our next one, the Cincinnati Reds taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Reds have yet to announce a starter. Cardinals rolling out Lance Lynn. For me here, I'm going to leave this one alone for now. I will drop something in the comments for you guys. I just really need a pitcher for the Reds before I get involved in this game. Our next one, the Oakland Athletics taking on the Houston Astros. Joey Estes versus Hunter Brown. I like the Hunter Brown PPD. Give me the 5Ks in the Astros money line. It's right on even money right now. I think it's a great price. I think it's a great spot. We get an Oakland team on the road who, as I've talked about, really starting to strike out a lot here, kind of getting back into their old ways that made them the team that we love to attack and love to fade. And I'm going to take advantage of that here. I think Hunter Brown pitches really well. I think he racks up Ks. I think the Astros can get some runs off of Estes here, ultimately get us a win. So give me the Hunter Brown 5Ks and the Astros money line.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Gold Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Gold Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Our next one, the San Diego Padres taking on the Mariners. Michael King versus Brian Wu. His total is at 6.5. It's not one of those crazy low totals. I like the Nerfy, the no runs in the first inning. I'm not going to mess with the total in this one because I like these pitchers a lot, like both guys. I do think in terms of side, if you wanted to go somewhere, I like the Padres. But ultimately, I like the no runs in the first inning, get in, get out, get us cash, and go about our day. It's a tough one because Brian Wu has really good stuff, but this is a Padres team who obviously has a really good lineup. So it'll be interesting to see how he pitches here. On the other side, Michael King, I mean, we all know the K stuff's there. Command can be a bit of an issue. You're seeing a Seattle team who sees a lot of pitches. So, like I said, tough spot. I like the Nerfy. Our next one, the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the San Francisco Giants. Colin Rea versus Blake Snell. It's going to be the Brewers on the money line for me here. I mean, Snell, I think he pitched relatively well. This is a Milwaukee team that hasn't hit lefties great over the, pretty much the whole season. But I do think that Snell, we kind of saw it in his last start. The command wasn't there, and he kind of reverted back to some of the stuff that got him into trouble. And I kind of think that continues here. You get a Milwaukee team that's got a lot to play for. Really think that ultimately he struggles in this spot. And Colin Rea is one of those guys that, for whatever reason, the metrics always look bad, but he always pitches well. So Brewers are plus money on the road. I will take a shot, and I will live with this one as well. Our next one, the last one on the slate, Chicago Cubs taking on the Dodgers. Jordan Wicks versus Bobby Miller. So for me here, it's got to be the over. I think both these pitchers really struggle in this spot. You get two teams who, kind of quietly crushing the ball. Really think this is a spot where both these pitchers just get teed off on. We don't have a line out for this one yet, surprisingly enough, but I think this thing soars over, whatever it may be, probably like an 8.5. And that does conclude our slate, though. If you guys do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys are playing. My three best bets for this one: Royals on the money line, absolutely love it at plus money. Orioles on the money line, also plus money. And the Nerfy in the Padres Mariners game. As always, you can get all my official plays at goldboys.com. If you have a gambling problem, don't want to hire a gambler. Thank you, guys.